Welcome back, everybody, to the Wedding Dreams Unveiled podcast. We're doing things a little different today. Usually, we have our guests in studio, but my man Teshorn, he's all the way down in Texas. So today we're doing this via Zoom. We tried some other applications, but they didn't work quite the way we wanted them to. So we resorted to Zoom, and it's working perfect. So just want to get this thing started and introduce my man Teshorn. Teshorn, welcome to the studio, brother.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Teshorn, yeah. All right.
Teshorn, okay.
Teshorn Jackson, it's all good. Marcus Porter in Memphis always call me Teshorn. Somebody corrected him on Instagram Live.
Yeah.
So Teshorn Jackson. It's all good.
Right. Yeah, that's what's up, man. So yeah, man, just want to get started, man, and see what you're about, man. You want to tell everybody, how long you've been in the wedding business and how you got in the wedding business. You want to talk about that?
Sure. This is my 11th year full time. It's been a long time. My plan was never to be a wedding photographer at all. I have a degree in architecture and civil design, and my plan was also to be an architect. And I practiced for a little bit over 10 years in that industry. I used to design CVS pharmacies, Walmarts, PetSmarts, airport checkpoints. Used to design neighborhoods across Dallas-Fort Worth. So that's my professional background. A lot of people think he's just a camera guy, but no, I have a professional career before this. But early in my career, I got into photography because sometime in 2008, I was back in school again for my second degree, and we had to design models in architecture. And there's a studio in the architecture building, and I decided to go to Target one day. Well, even before that, I got married, and I transferred departments in the office. Things were slow in the economy. I transferred departments late 2007. I got headshots done as a new employee, transitional employee. And I was like, that's a nice camera. And I started researching cameras for about a year. And then I learned about negotiating through Dave Ramsey, Financial Peace University, and my wife and I were on that program at the time. And I learned about negotiating. And I went to Target one day to get some school materials. And I saw the camera that I'd been seeing online. And I said, I wonder if I can get this a lot lower. It was a Canon Rebel XT, bottom of the barrel. They had it for $500 on display. And I said, let me talk to someone to see if I can get a better price. And I spoke to the sales associates. And I said, hey, is there a better price on this camera? And they told me no. I said, that's not good enough. And that's something I learned through Dave Ramsey. And they're like, what do you mean that's not good enough? I said, no, that's not good enough. Where's the manager? The manager came out. I said, listen, I'm trying to get this camera. I need a better price for it. He's like, well, it's $500. And I said, that's not good enough either. I said, listen, people have touched this camera. It's been used while it's on display. People touch it every day, and it's been used already. So it's not brand new out of the box. And he said, oh, if you have this Target credit card, again, I'm on Financial Peace University. I'm on that track to no debt. And I said, well, if I can, he said, if you use a Target credit, apply for a Target card, you get approved, you get a huge discount on it. And I got the card, got for $238.13. And I went to customer service and paid off the card at the same time. He's like, what do you mean? What are you doing? I'm like, I don't need no debt, not for no camera. Right. And I got the camera. I told my wife, I got a camera for school. She's like, well, whatever. But again, I had no plans to be a photographer. I just wanted to see if I can get a better price for it. And I started to take pictures of flowers and took pictures of my wife. And I told her, get in the wedding dress, let's take a picture. And I was on campus one evening and heard somebody said they needed a photographer. It was the Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity. And I happened to have a picture of my wife in my backpack. I'm like, I'm a photographer. And I showed them the picture. And they're like, that's good. And I said, what do you guys need? They're doing the black and gold pageant that January. They needed promo work for the pageant that December. And I said, okay, let's talk about it. They told me what they needed. And I gave them a price. And they were like, that's expensive. I'm like, well, do you want amateur to do it? Or do you want professional? And I had only been shooting a couple people along the way since from October to December. I've been, playing with the camera. And I shot it on a Sunday after around noon on that Sunday in December. I shot it on automatic because that's what the camera came on. I didn't know what the buttons meant. I had no clue what those buttons meant. And that was December 2008. And then the pageant came around January. And if you've seen my talks before, I kind of talked about the pageant, how I didn't know what I was doing. And I made some struggle slices, and I sold it to them anyway and said, hey, this is art. When the last time we saw art like this? And they had questions about, why are these photos blurry? Hey, listen, I'm an artist, okay? You could hire somebody else, but you told the artist. But again, I just didn't think about weddings. People asked me to shoot weddings because I was shooting families at the time, couples, and they love. And again, I'm just having fun because I had my professional career. I'm depending on graduated college, kept working at the firm. And one of my professors said, "Hey, you're really good at this photography. Have you looked into it?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm an architect. Photography? Come on, who wants to be a photographer? You're like who? Like you got better things to do." But in 2011, I went home to Antigua that for the holidays. I did a big event. It was published in the UK. A couple in the UK found the photos and said, "Hey, whoever shot this, I want to shoot my wedding, my destination wedding to Antigua, which is March of 2013, which is my first destination wedding." And yeah, I decided to go full time. Decided to go full time
Wow, man.
2013. I've been rocking and rolling ever since.
Man, that's a awesome story, man, because I've never heard anybody tell like the story like that. And I think that's great, to go from um college and then to come out and to join a firm, architect, and do those kind of things, and then say, you know what, I'm just going full-time photography after you did that one destination wedding. How was that destination wedding that you did, your first one? Like, you didn't have any experience really with wedding stuff. So how did that one, because we always talk about destination weddings is not a vacation. And how was it? Were you by yourself? Did you have another photographer with you, or how did that work out?
Well, for one, I got laid off in 2011.
Okay.
So I got hired by the firm August of 2000 after my first degree. So I went back to school while I was still working there. So after 10 years, 5 months, and 3 days, I got laid off. And so between 2011 and 2013, I was trying to figure out life. I created a couple of businesses with some partners that didn't do well at all, went belly up, got sued many times for it.
Hmm.
And so in 2012, when I started getting a taste for I helped a few photographers shoot some weddings before. They'll tell me, "You're really good at this." There was a makeup artist, she like, "Start shooting these models. You're good at this couple stuff. Focus on that." So end of 2012, when I decided I'll do weddings full time, 2013. But destination wedding, it was back in Antigua where I'm from. So it was vacation. It was a British
Okay.
couple, and I went by myself. I had my second shooter. He and I grew up together on the island. He's also a photographer there, and we've been trading work over from 2009 to 2013. We trading work with our chat group. So he's my
Hmm.
second shooter. So it wasn't really difficult because when you don't know something, you do what you know how to do, which is not much. You stay in the pocket in a sense. You
Oh
can
yeah.
line up the photos, make sure it's exposed properly, but all the other stuff I wasn't aware of because I'm new to this wedding. But I've been shooting couples for those years in between. But the wedding
Right.
itself, amazing wedding experience. One of my favorite images I've ever made was from that reception.
Oh wow.
Up to now,
That
one of my
says a lot.
top 5 images ever made. One of my favorites was from that same wedding.
Right. Right. So, as far as like industry stuff, what are some of the biggest challenges you see facing the wedding industry right now?
Right now, photography is not working. People are struggling trying to survive.
Yeah. Yeah, I would
It's
agree, man. I would
Mhm.
agree. You almost have to have different sources of income because of, the many things that some people don't want to pay the prices, and then you feel like you got to come down. Some people go up, and you get into a niche, and sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. What do you besides what you said, you want to elaborate on that a little bit
Things not
about
working.
it's not working? Yeah, want to
Yeah.
I want to
So,
definitely hear about that because it sounds very, very interesting.
well, I had a conversation with someone maybe earlier this year, and they said traditionally there's a 4-year window between meeting someone and them saying "I do." When COVID happened in
Yeah.
2020, that year people weren't really meeting as much. So we created. So this is the 4th year. So there's a gap in the wedding industry. I think there's a
Mm.
report that one of the jewelry companies said there's a 25% less wedding rings sold during engagement season. So that gap, industry professionals are feeling that gap.
Mm.
So I always suggest people. Some of my friends tell me they want to quit their full-time job and be a wedding photographer. I said, don't do that. Don't do that.
Right.
A lot of people try to tell you, oh, do this full time, full time. I would say, no, keep that 9 to 5 money that's paying you very well and try
Mm.
to find with the balance the wedding side because it's entrepreneurship is not easy. I don't
It's
care what people
not.
tell you. This is hard work. There's no
It is, man.
guarantees. There's no guarantees in this game, but you have to be honest with yourself. And like, listen, they say raise your price, raise your prices. That's not always the answer either.
Right.
So raise your value. I mean, there's something called the value statement, value equation. Unless you understand that value equation, it can be a challenge for you. It's a challenge for a lot of
Yeah.
people. I saw there's somebody I know very, very high $25,000 photographer doing ads trying to get bookings. There are a lot of things that professionals have to do to survive.
Yeah.
So if you got your cushy job, trust me, keep it.
Tell him again, Teshorn. Tell him one more
Keep
time.
keep that job. It's not easy. People are closing studios left and right.
Yeah.
I was talking to someone and I heard the Uber driver app. They drive Uber. You gotta do what you gotta do. We have to do what we have to do, right?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
There's no nobility. There's no nobility in poverty. And especially
Yeah.
stuff where you do that intentionally because of pride. Nah. Feed your family, you gotta do what you have to do.
Yeah.
But do it ethically though. Don't sell them a bunch of come by this, come by that. No judgment here.
Yeah. No, I like that, man. I want to talk about that a little longer if you don't mind, because it's not easy out here. You got a lot of people shifting to different things to try to survive in the wedding business, because you know when you have a 9 to 5 job like what we were just talking about, you're able to put away money for your 401k. You have the benefits. You know you're getting a check every week or every 2 weeks or however you're paid. You have those things. And there's nothing wrong with being a full-time wedding photographer, because there is a lot of money that can be made, but you get those downtimes where it's not a lot of money coming in, and I think that's where we see people struggling at and trying to make that shift to I see a lot of people shift into like education, workshops. I see a lot of people switching to masterminds and things like that. So it's not for everybody. It's a great hustle on the side because you can make, a lot of money, upwards to 6 figures, on the
Six,
side. If you
seven, seven.
7, all right, okay. Well,
Oh, who you talking with, man? Who you
look,
switching
let's
network,
go
man?
for
Come
it then.
on.
Let's go for it. I like it. And it is some studios out and some photographers out that are making 7 figures, man, and it's not easy, so it's one of those things, man. You got to find what works for you, and you got to have multiple streams of income. Just being an entrepreneur in itself, you have to have, many, many different streams of income.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. So if you had like to talk to a wedding couple right now before they hired their photographer, what would you tell them if you had just one thing?
I would tell them, while portraits are important, portraits are a fraction of the wedding day.
Yeah.
If you really care about your story being told and documented, hire a wedding
Yep.
photographer, not a portrait photographer. Couples don't know the difference between a portrait photographer and a wedding photographer. Hell, photographers don't know the difference. Planners don't know the difference. Think about it. A wedding day, a fraction of the day is spent on portraits. The rest of the day,
Yeah.
the story's being unfolding. You have to document that. And some people can't it's like a puzzle. You have to put it together. A lot of people don't know how, or don't have the ability to do that.
Yeah.
But it's like you have to do that. So couples need to realize after these multiple full galleries, make sure don't be fooled by Instagram and websites. We hide all our best stuff on there. Have to see the full wedding gallery. But if the photographer tells you, well, I can't show you because of privacy reasons, move on. Next.
Wow. Wow. Wow, man.
Because here's the thing, right?
That's a hot take right there. I like it though.
Because here's the thing. There are people who can't use Flash.
Yep.
Every photo they share is outside.
Yep.
It's outside. For aesthetic purposes to match their social media aesthetics,
Yep.
or they just don't know how to. And the rest of the wedding is after sunsets, low, they have no experience in that. It might not be the right person for you, but it's too late now.
Yeah. You already paid them.
That's why get a full gallery, see different lighting conditions, because you just never know.
Yeah.
Photographers are good hustlers.
Yeah. Yeah. I had a couple on no, a wedding planner right before the 2 episodes ago. Episode I think 9 or 10, no, 10 or 11. And she said, make sure you see 4 galleries. And if you don't, it's a red flag. So yeah, it's definitely that's kind of like the new thing. Um, Another photographer that was on the podcast said the same thing. Make sure you're seeing 4 galleries because the stuff that they put on Instagram is just a highlight, but you need to really see how they plan their day, how they shoot through their day, the ceremony, the prep, all of those things. How are they doing all of those things? You need to see all of that stuff. So
Absolutely.
you definitely need to get a full gallery, man. I agree 100% with that. Definitely need to get a full gallery. Do you give full galleries like when people come to uh, your photography website? Do they ask for full galleries or do you just give them like 1 or 2 full galleries?
They don't ask, but in the response has galleries, engagement sessions, and weddings,
Right,
multiple weddings, and depending on what the venue is, there might be a gallery of the same venue that you have.
right. Yeah, yeah. Do you think it's important for photographers and the couples to meet before the wedding, like an engagement session or something like that, or do you think it's okay if you don't meet? Because sometimes, like say that destination wedding that we were talking about, you may not even have had the chance to meet that couple.
And I
Do
didn't.
you right? So do you think it's important that a couple and the photographer kind of get that rapport together um prior to the wedding day, or you don't think it's necessary?
It doesn't hurt, but it's not necessary. A lot of
Okay.
people shoot destination weddings, and they meet the couple either day of the wedding or the night before, maybe at the rehearsal
Yep.
dinner or rehearsal. I've
Yep.
many weddings I photographed. I met them the morning I got there.
Yep. Oh yeah, same here. Same here.
So again, it
Same
doesn't
here,
hurt,
man.
but it's not necessary. Anybody who says, "Oh,
Right.
you have to do it," engagement session, thanks. Like, come on, that's not, yeah,
Yeah.
whatever.
I think it's important to get that rapport though. But if you can't, you make it happen
Phone
because a
calls,
lot of
video
what's that?
calls, phone calls,
Yeah.
video calls. These are things that can fill in the gap without an engagement session.
Yeah. Yeah, I can agree with that. But I would say that that engagement session helps them to know what you're looking for and helps you to know and vice versa. And like all the time, you're not going to be able to do that to Sean. So I'm with you. I'm just saying that I think it helps if you can do that. But if you
Yeah,
can't,
yeah,
not a big deal.
yeah. That's why it doesn't hurt. If you can do it, sure,
Yeah.
go ahead. But don't
Yeah.
say it's, don't say it's mandatory like it's oh,
Yeah. No, I wouldn't say it's mandatory.
gotta have this. You gotta have these two lenses here. These two must haves. No, you don't.
Yeah, no, it's not mandatory. So the pricing, like we was talking about just a little while ago, why is wedding photography costing so much in 2024?
Is it?
I would say it is, yeah.
I think that's relative. I don't think wedding photography is expensive.
Okay. All right, let's
I mean,
talk about it.
I see that all the time. Like when you're running a business,
Hmm.
okay, there are expenses that you have every single month.
Yep.
There's a lifestyle you probably want as well.
Hmm.
There's a brand you've built. Same reason. Why is a Birkin bag so much money?
Oh yeah.
Why is it? Why does the Mercedes AMG cost so much?
Mhm.
Why does the Porsche cost so much? Why does it takes you from point A to point B?
Mhm.
It's a brand that they built, right?
Absolutely.
If a person built
So
a brand,
so
you buy into the brand comes with a cost.
okay. So my question is, why does wedding photography cost so much? You say that it don't, but when you tell a couple that, hey, it's $7,000 or it's $8,000 and they fall out of their chair, what do you tell them?
But here's the thing: it depends on who the couple is. You tell a couple who has $25,000 to spend, You tell me $7,000 or $8,000, they're not looking at you. They're like, "What's wrong with this photographer? He or she must not be good. This is nothing." Like, no, let me go find somebody that's worth what I have to spend. That's what it's relative.
Okay.
I mean, it's all based on what they have to spend. Again, a couple
Okay.
who have money gonna say $7,000 is nothing. They wouldn't even hire you. I shared this on my stories maybe 2 weeks ago. There's where she's from. She's from Reddit. She went looking for wedding photographers, and she came across people in the like lowest was 12,000 one person, versus like 20 to like $40,000. And she realized, I want to book somebody in this range. If you came with a $7,000 price tag, she's not looking at you.
Okay. Yeah. Hey,
And people they're spending that type of money on a regular basis.
yeah. Yeah, it is. It is. You're not lying. They are spending that kind of money on a regular basis. But you got some people who that's a lot of money to them. You know,
Yeah.
they're not the $10,000 or $12,000 couple that is going to just drop $10,000 or $12,000 on a wedding. They may be only ready to drop 6,000 or 5,000 or 7,000. So when you have that couple, you know, maybe that's not your couple or maybe not your bride, right?
Oh, for sure. There's some people, you tell them it's $1,500, that's too expensive for them.
Yeah.
There's a photographer for every couple out there.
Mm-hmm.
You want somebody who charge only $500 for weddings? They're like, "Oh, that's perfect. That's right at my budget."
Yeah. You want to get $500, you want to get a $500 photographer.
Maybe.
Yeah.
There are
You
a lot of
know?
photographers there are a lot of photographers that are really, really good who don't charge much. They don't cost much.
Mm-hmm.
Their value is so high, yet the price is so low. And they got day jobs. I think it's a
Yeah.
shame. When you have a day job that pays you well, you should be able to dictate when you want to work. Not everyone should be able to book you. You have the luxury of having steady income.
Yeah.
But it just depends on the buyer. Because it's like a cake. Why is cake expensive? Some people think it
So
is.
how do you make sure that you got that steady income as a photographer? How do you make sure you got that steady income?
But here's a hustle I've been seeing happening. I don't particularly do this, but here's a hustle.
Okay.
So you have a team. You book a couple on a wedding day. Who's not shooting it? You're not shooting it. You send somebody else to shoot it. Pay them a little their fee.
Mm-hmm.
I've been seeing that hustle the last few years. You keep booking people, keep booking and booking, and you never show up to the wedding.
Mm.
I personally don't like. I don't do that. I've helped
No,
people.
that's
I've
not
helped others
cool.
do it. But I've helped other people do it. Sometimes it's an upgrade for the couple.
Yeah.
Pay me my fee, pay my asking fee. I'm cool.
Right.
But there's no guarantees in this business. That's why you have to have multiple streams of income. That's why I have multiple streams that I do.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm with you. So do you think a couple for the wedding day, do you think they should have two photographers, or is one photographer okay? Or do you think it's necessary to have two?
I will say it depends on the wedding. I have a wedding this weekend in Hill Country. I'm by myself. It's 60 guests, very small
Mhm.
bridal party,
Yeah,
small
that
wedding
is
party.
small. Yeah.
And but I've shot many weddings around the world by myself. But it's very small weddings. But here's the thing: I'm not omnipresent. I can't be two places at the same time. Like, for example, if I'm with the guys, who's with the girls?
Yep.
I mean, if I'm with one partner, who's with the other? Because if
Yeah.
I'm documenting what's happening there, what if some pivotal moments are happening with the other side? Who's there to
Mhm.
document it? You can't go wrong with two. Sometimes you need
Okay.
three. You need four at
Yeah.
times.
Depending on how big the wedding party is.
And just what's happening. Again, you can't be both places at the same time.
Yeah.
If storytelling is important to a couple, they really thrive on documentary wedding photography. They need more than one.
Yeah.
Because you can be as talented as you want to be. You're not omnipresent. You're
Okay.
gonna miss some things, and those things
Oh
that you're
yeah.
missing are important. Important. I mean, imagine you with the ladies, right? And someone goes to the other room, somebody they haven't seen in a long time, and oh my gosh, just a burst of emotions happened. Who's getting that?
Yeah. You
You only
not
had
there.
one. I'm not
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm with you,
But
man.
again, if they don't really care, they're like, "Oh, I don't really care." I mean, it's a fleeting moment. I mean, cool, you good.
Yeah. How long for those wedding party portraits? of the wedding couple, of the bridesmaids, groomsmen, the family, how long do they really take? And how much time would you tell a couple out there that you need?
I would ask them who are the people that's most important to them first. You can kind of get an idea. And it depends on the culture too. You ever been
Mhm.
to a Nigerian wedding?
I heard they are like really, really huge and it's a lot going on.
It can be a lot going on. A lot happens then
Yeah.
and there, but it's couple dependent.
Mhm.
They have cocktail hour for a reason. It's cocktail hour. I prefer like do a first look. Do a first look before the ceremony. Get as much and many portions out of the way as you can. That way, when it comes to after the ceremony, it's just family stuff now. I think that the couple
Right.
paid for cocktail hour, they should be able to go enjoy a cocktail hour with their guests. That way, during the reception, they're not walking around trying to get table shots.
Yeah.
Enjoy your cocktail hour. Get something in, munch on something that you paid for, and the photographer should be able to document the moments that are happening in between. So about an hour is sufficient depending on the day or less, but that's what they make cocktail hour. And just
Yeah.
talk to the planner. Talk to the planner. An experienced planner will give you an idea of what the day looks like, but you use your experience as well to kind of, communicate that with the planner and the couple.
Yeah. Yeah. So that first look, if the couple, why don't you tell some of the listeners who don't know what a first look is, just tell them kind of briefly what that is.
The first look happens when you see your partner before the ceremony. Gives you a
Mhm.
chance to get the emotions out of the way, get some portraits documented before. But sometimes a couple, usually the bride will say, "Well, I want him to see me for the first time. I want to make sure he cries when he sees me." Here's a hard truth: you cannot guarantee a man will cry or your partner will cry for you when you walk down the aisle.
Mhm.
There's no guarantees.
Yeah.
Man, there's no way to plan it. You can't plan and say, "When I see you, I'm going to cry." It's not a
Mhm.
thing. I believe that, and from my experience, a man who doesn't cry during the first look will not cry when he sees you down the aisle. If they
Okay.
cry during the first look, more likely they're gonna cry when they see you walk down the aisle again. Because it becomes like, while it happened during the first look, when he sees you again or she sees you again, it's going to trigger another emotions. It's gonna happen again.
But if they
That's
don't do
just
it at the first, if
if
they
they
don't
don't
do
do
it
the
at the,
first look, yeah,
yeah,
they're not doing more likely they're not doing that there either. You might
right.
catch a lightning in the bottle once, but no. From my experience, I haven't experienced it yet.
I like that. I like that. How long should a couple expect to get their wedding gallery from just on average, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks? How long should a couple expect?
Whatever the contract says.
Okay.
But
What
I
do
will
your
tell you,
contracts say?
mine says 8 to 10 or 6 to 8, one of those.
Okay.
My contract is a living document. Sometimes it's dead, sometimes it's alive. It switches up. But I will tell you, when you're working with premium and luxury planners,
Hmm.
the sooner the better. Within 30 days, you make a planner very happy. If you get those sneak peeks within 48 hours, planner's really happy.
Yep.
And
Oh,
couples, they're over the
absolutely.
moon.
Yeah. How many photos are you giving in a sneak peek?
It could be what, 30, 50 photos, depending. It could be 100
Yeah.
photos.
Yeah.
Depends on
I
the
used to
day.
do like 80 sometimes, and then I got it way down to like maybe five per scene or something like that.
Mhm.
So maybe
Okay.
20 to 40, 20 to 30, somewhere around there, depending on how much action it was. If it's a first look, it brings a lot more into,
Right.
the day and all that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, yeah, that's fine. So let's switch over to just a little bit about the business part of it. You seem like a
Oh
very,
no.
very business-minded guy.
Okay.
And I'm in the process of, doing some business coaching classes and helping people create LLCs and all of that kind of stuff. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about that. Um, are you incorporated?
I better hope so. I'm actually, I have an S corp.
Okay, wonderful. Wonderful. Is there any reason that you chose the S corporation over an LLC or C corporation?
Yes, when you make a certain amount of money, you can become S corp, put myself on payroll. That way, I can have my retirement benefits and all the other benefits that's happened for tax purposes as well. You get the payroll deductions, a lot of tax benefits. But I'm not a CPA, so please consult your nearest tax professional.
I love it.
Don't
I
take my
love it,
advice for that.
Teshorn. I love it, man. That's what's up. So do you think it's important that wedding couples um, look to see if their photographer is incorporated and do they have the proper insurances?
I think the insurance is more important than incorporation.
Okay.
If that incorporated, you can sue them for all they got. Take their house, take their cars, take everything.
Absolutely, because they'll pierce right through the veil, right?
Exactly. But insurance, the thing with insurance, there are a lot of venues you can't get in without insurance. Imagine booking a
Absolutely.
photographer and at this nice venue, they have no insurance.
Yep.
They- Like, that's not happening. Now you got to pay for the same door insurance. If it's on a Sunday night, customer service is not at work and you got to scramble, you up the creek.
Mhm.
But I think you have, for one, insurance is important because I will not put the name on here, but they've been sued before and have to use the insurance to pay for the couple.
Really?
Yeah,
What happened? Without no names. Don't say no names, but just a
they're gonna
brief
watch it.
story about.
They're gonna watch this.
Oh, all right. So let's
They
not talk about it
no, no,
then.
no, no. Whatever. Yo, I'm talking about you
Okay.
right now. Anyway, they didn't back up their files as efficient as possible.
Okay.
There was a kink in the chain with the system and systematic issues and lost photos from wedding day. And Tucker was like, we'll take you to court. Thank God they had insurance. It will save you behind.
Wow. Wow. So they were incorporated with insurance.
Yeah, I'm not sure the incorporation part. I don't know, but I know they have insurance. Insurance is it's important. Protect your
Yeah.
assets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is important for wedding couples to make sure that because if a light stand falls on somebody, you know, you can be sued. If somebody trips over your wedding bag, you can be sued. So you have to be careful with that kind of stuff. And I think, well, not think, I know that wedding couples should make sure that their wedding photographer is carrying insurance. And also, like you said, it's venues. Like I got a wedding, a next year wedding I got, and they was asking me about insurance. And I said, yeah, just tell me um, their address and everything. I can add them to it and send them over I forget what those files are called, but you know the ones I'm
COI.
talking about.
COI.
Yeah, you got I forget, yeah, you got to add them to it and send it to
Yeah.
them so that way they have it on file and all that stuff. So I just told them we'll have it, but I think it's very important that wedding couples make sure that that kind of stuff is covered because, like what you just said, if they lose the photos, they may have all of this stuff in their contract, but they may not have a way of paying for it or a way of, you know, something that's going to be tangible that they can take away because it's lost.
Mhm. Right.
So I think it's very important to carry insurance. What type of your method of backup are you using?
Let's see. I shoot on two cards at all times. I have a
Yep.
physical hard drive and I have a cloud storage as well.
There you go. I like it. Yeah, I'm big on backing up stuff, man. All of that stuff. That's another
Got
thing
to.
that's important. Yeah, it's another thing that's important. Like when I get back from a wedding, the first thing I do is I upload the photos to the computer, and then the computer automatically backs up to my server, and then my server backs up to the cloud. So it's, you got to have those three forms of that backup, man, because you never know what can happen. What happens if, something catches on fire or something isn't working anymore or, all of those things. And good thing that that doesn't usually happen to a lot of photographers, but it can happen and it will if you're not careful. Like you were saying with that person, that's not
Yeah,
good.
but things happen. For example, I had a wedding, destination wedding, and I left the wedding, went back to my place, and I didn't feel like opening the gate to drive in and park. So I parked on the streets, took my camera bag out, and I reversed in the parking spot so I can
Mhm.
see that I can see the house in front. And I'm right across the street from the house too. I left my camera bag outside. behind my truck. Go back to my room, and I'm talking to somebody. And I remember like midnight or so, maybe later than that. I'm like, let me go back with these files now. Let me go see what these photos look like. I'm like, where's my camera? Where's my camera bag? I'm freaking out. Ran outside, like I had to think, quick, go to the truck. Camera bag sitting outside.
What?
Camera bag
You
sitting
left,
outside.
it was outside, it was just at the back of your
I,
truck.
outside across the street behind my truck.
Wow, man. That's awesome. Thank God, right?
I flew to another country to shoot the wedding. The couple lived there.
Yeah. Wow,
My bad,
man.
Tiffany.
So let's switch over to gear. Let's switch over to gear. Let's talk to the photographers, man. You know, they all love to hear about the gear. What gear is Teshorn Jackson using in 2024?
What game am I not using? As a question. I don't use Sony. I don't use Nikon. No, I use Nikon. I don't use Canon.
Okay.
I use any gear that. So I'm a Fuji guy. But there's Fuji right
Okay.
there filming me here.
Okay.
I use on the run and gun. I have Minolta rangefinder. This film.
Yep.
I use crop body Fujis. Yes, crop sensors. And I use medium format sensors for Fuji as well. My
Okay.
workhorse is a crop sensor Fuji XH2S XT4s. My portraits and decor photos are the GFX 50S2. I shoot on film with my Mamiya 645. If I feel like being creative, I use a Rolleiflex as well. And again, my day-to-day street stuff is my Minolta. I have
X100.
my
Oh, the Minolta?
I have the X100F. I don't
Yeah.
need all the upgrades. I also have my Fuji XS10. If somebody want to, I'm not selling it. I was selling it before, but
Oh,
I'm
you're
thinking
a
of
big
buying it.
Fuji guy, man. They need to make you an ambassador.
Let's listen. Yo, SM. Can't call your name out. They might know who you are and try to reach out to you. Yeah, put me on. Nah, what? You know what? Some conversations happening. Well, you know, well,
That's
yeah,
awesome,
but,
man.
yeah.
That's right. When you
Whatever.
support a brand like that, they should, you know, want to look out for you, man, and
They
make you one of
look
the
out.
ambassadors.
They
Okay.
look out.
All right.
They look out. If I
Great.
need
Great.
something, I can make a phone call, send a text, and I'll get what I need.
Nice. That's awesome. How is that medium format one? Because I do a lot of headshots as well. And I know the medium format is supposed to be really, really good for things like portraits and stuff.
It hits different. It hits different. But yeah, even the film body I use, medium format is it hits different than 35 millimeter.
Yeah.
Yeah, with medium format, for example, the Mamiya body, it looks as if the person was photoshopped in the image. It's just like
Really?
it's a strange feel to it. Yeah, but I love my medium format, film and digital.
Yeah.
But I shoot a lot of stuff on film.
That's what I was about to say. How often do you shoot on film? I have a Canon AE1 35
A1,
millimeter.
okay, yeah.
And I like it. It's fun, you know, makes you think.
So it slows you down. Yeah, but
Yep.
yeah, I shoot the Nikon. I have a Nikon film body too. So I mean, I'm not when it comes to film, I'm not loyal to any brand unless they start, paying me. But
Yeah.
I love whatever I can get. So I'm using
Yep.
a Leica this weekend. I'm testing out a Leica. Was Q3. So
Yeah. That's awesome, man. I always wanted to test out a Leica, man, but I never pulled the trigger to buy one.
you can rent it.
So yeah, I guess you're right. I just never just pulled the trigger. I just sold all my Canon and bought all Sony stuff, and that's just
Are
what
you a
I've been
Sony guy?
rocking with. Yeah.
Oh, we got to get off this call. What time is it?
Yeah, I've been we used to be Canon, and I felt like they were taking a long time to get around to coming out with the mirrorless stuff, and I just jumped ship, man. I had a couple of Fujis that I was shooting with. I love them, and I just like you and I chatted about. I just had the X100 and I had the XT3 and the XT2. I sold all that stuff, man, and I bought all Sony stuff because I needed it at the time. But it's all good. But I like to have a walk around like a Fuji camera or something like that I'm waiting to buy. But you know you can't get the newest one yet, so you just gotta
Yeah.
just wait.
The The old one
Patient.
works.
It does. It
Yeah,
does. It
I have this
does.
thing where if you have to get a new camera every single time, it's like maximize the old one.
Yeah.
Maximize it. It's like
Yeah.
my Nikon gear I used to shoot with, the rubber fell off everything. It was like bare bone Nikon. And so I donated to somebody who needed some stuff for school. Use a
Yeah.
gear, like use it. It's built to last for a while. And just, you gotta get the
Yeah.
new thing. And still got the same work. Like, come on, man.
Yeah. I had a photographer on last week. He's a Magmon ambassador. And I asked him about gear. And he said, I still got the same gear from like 5 years ago. He said, photographers is just buying too much gear. He said, and then they always wonder why their money is not, building up the way they want it to. He said, because they keep buying all the
Mhm.
new stuff.
Yeah, yeah, money funny, but hey,
Yeah.
you guys are grown ups. Do as you feel the need to do. Your
Yeah.
bills aren't coming to my house.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So tell all the people where they can find you at, Teshorn.
Instagram, Threads, those are two places. Yeah,
Okay.
you have my name in the title, so it'll be fine.
Yep.
But no,
Yep.
it's Instagram. I don't post. I post my stories there more than I post on my wall. I'm
Hmm.
just like, yeah, I don't like. I have a thing with Instagram where it's just I have to feed it all the time. I'm like, I just
Yeah.
sometimes I'm just lazy. I don't feel like doing all that. But
Well, you
I have a good.
probably working, man. You out there getting it done and you don't have the time to do it.
No, I just sometimes don't feel like doing it.
Well,
Good one, but
I'm with you.
listen, sometimes I'm lazy. I guess remember I see myself as the old man in this industry now, and this is
Mhm.
like 11 years full time,
Yeah.
and it's like I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot of people come, seen a lot of people go.
Yeah.
I've seen people who they start off way before me, they close shop. You have to evolve with the times, and look, I'm still here. I'm not a has been yet. I don't never want to be a has been, so I try to stay up on
Yeah.
stuff. Because watch me, in about 2 years, a lot of y'all be shooting on film. Watch this. Watch this.
Yeah,
We
it's
have shooting
going
on.
back. It's going back, right?
Yeah, but I've been since 2018. I've been shooting on film. I've been experimenting.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now
Yeah.
film costs have gone up so much. So stay home, stay away from film. It's expensive.
Yeah, yeah. You come to the East Coast, man. We gotta, you come up this way, man. We gotta get together, man. Maybe grab some film cameras and go out and shoot some stuff, man. Or, you know, walk around, do a photo walk or something.
Okay, okay. Yeah.
Or if
I'm
I
supposed to
come
be
down
working on.
that way, I'll look you up.
I'm supposed to be doing something in New York this summer. I keep people hold me to it. A film walk,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I gotta see. Yeah,
yeah. Let me know, man. That'll be fun, man. I would love to come, man, if I can and support you, and it'll be great.
we'll see. We'll see if I do it. I was just like, because I made a
Yeah.
post about it last year, and they were like, "Hey," or it could be early this year. I think it was last year, and they're like, "Hey,
Mhm.
what are you gonna do? Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm interested." More people were interested than I thought. I'm like, maybe 3 people say sure, but I'm like, yo, all y'all people want to do a film walk? Okay, but that requires effort and planning, and sometimes I
It
don't feel like doing
does.
all that. Yeah,
I'm with
so
you, man. I'm with you. I'm with you. Well, all right. Well, cool, man. Thanks for jumping on, man. And all of the things that we were trying to get this on another platform that didn't work. We wound up on Zoom. So the audio and the video is not going to be um, the way how it usually is, man. But I think the conversation that we had is the most important thing, man. You gave a lot of good insight.